Hey, Carolyn.
Yeah, John.
I have been looking all over this morning for my keys, and I finally found them. Right here under my pannier mount. Any idea how they got there?
Whatever do you mean?
Oh, I can take it in. Welcome back, everybody, to the Grand Shamrock Tour. Well, I did find my car keys, so that's a trick my wife plays on me every once in a while when she's trying to get me to do something. But what she's trying to get me to do is just going to help me out, because what I'm looking forward to is putting luggage on the Transalp. And I reached out to who I was going to buy my luggage from, which was Nelson Rigg, and they gave us a suggestion of using the TUSK Pannier mounts. So that being said, I bought them from Amazon. I got a link to them right down here below. And this is what's in the box. First of all, the only thing that I could see we needed for install is a 13 millimeter, a 10 millimeter. I also got the sockets to relate, and an 8 millimeter Allen head. And I do use this extensively, so I've got a link to this product too, because I'm going to tell you right now, for the price, you can't beat it. If you're a motorcyclist, make sure you have one of these on your hand. So it's a real simple, what I looked at online, it's a real simple little thing to put this on the Transalp, and it's really going to be great for mounting my future bags, my future luggage. So all it is, if we open it up here, Tusk has their instructions. They have the panniers, the racks, both left and right. The box mounts, which is essentially what we'll be doing when we put our luggage on. We'll be using box mounts so we can quickly disconnect. That was what kind of sold me on the Tusk as well. And so we have a left, we have a right, we have some hardware, and we have the back brace. So when it's all over said and done, it'll get linked in the back, kind of make it stabilized and secured, and we're ready to get started on this puppy. All right, so we're going to get started here by removing the plugs that they have for a factory mount here. And since they're already threaded into the OEM, the only thing I could think of, I actually had an upholstery removing tool, but it didn't want to do very good. So all I'm doing is, with a pair of needle nose, I'm just going to unthread this, back it out, and you can see it's just a plug that Honda has installed to keep the threads clean and neat for one of their products when you would install it with them. And obviously it's going to work for ours too. There are 4 in total, so I'll remove the left side first, then I'll switch over to the right side, and we've got just 2 more bolts to remove before we can get our install going. For the longest time, Honda used to put all their stuff on, and in the early days, you'd always have to have an impact driver to pull that out, and I don't know if that is going to be the case here or not. Yeah, let's go ahead and use an impact driver. All right, so when the factory sets these things up, they put them in a certain way, and I always found it a little bit of a problem if you didn't use an impact driver. But we had the old-fashioned kind where we hit it with a hammer. The new impact drivers are so easy, I can simply put it on, and if with the right pressure, we've got that broke loose. I'll just get it loose first. And that makes that job easy. These bolts loose, we're going to go ahead and pull the passenger pegs off. We're going to loosely fit the Tusk bracket, pannier bracket, behind the passenger pegs. All right, before we loosely assemble the pannier rack on this side, we're going to put a little thread locking compound, Loctite Blue, just a little bit on the bolts before we reassemble. You always want to make sure you're doing that. Red is necessary on some things, but blue is just handy because it does its job and it's easily removed. You know, shouldn't be something I frequently remove, but if I have to at some point in time, I want to just be able to pull it out real easy. And I also don't want it vibrating when I'm going down the road. So just a little bit of thread lock glue on there. And then what we're going to do, one at a time, I'm just going to position the left-hand side up. Know that we're going to be right there. So we're going to go ahead and put the bolt through the foot peg in position there. All we really want to do is get it up and loosely fitted. And that's kind of a, you know, could be a challenge with one person, but it's hard to film and ask her to help me at the same time, even though she wants me to get out and ride. So on first impression, I really kind of like the Tusk, the way it's built. Seems pretty good. I mean, all this stuff is, they're trying to keep the prices down. They're trying to make it so it's a good, you know, more affordable to the masses. And I like that a lot. And we are close right there. Again, loosely now, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna be putting some spacers in up top. We wanna make sure that we've got the ability to move the bracket back and forth while we do that. So we're in good shape there. Now I'm gonna come up and do that. Okay, so I've installed some thread locker compound, some Loctite 242 blue, and I've got the 3/8 inch spacer that's required. We can bring it up. The nice thing is not tighten anything up. I can move it back and forth a little bit to get exactly where this lines up. And if I'm to be honest, that lined up pretty good. Let's just make sure we don't cross thread anything as we go in. Like butter. So these, with the spacers, they're going to use a 13 millimeter nut driver. Once we get them started here and in position, I will say it is a good fit. The spacer lines up with the OEM platform well. Once I've got that there, I'm going to just sneak ahead and read the ending of this story and see if I can tighten it up before I put that cross brace in the back, because I don't want to do that, then have to loosen everything up so I can get that cross brace fitted. So I'm going to jump ahead to the end of this story. So the nice thing about the right hand side of the bike is once you remove those bolts from the kickstand, it's still being held by the exhaust. Has a rubber mounted isolator on there. So I put some thread locking compound on there. This one is not going to require some finesse. All I need to do there is get it into position and replace those factory bolts. But again, leave everything loose because I jumped ahead. I read the end of the story, and we still have to put that cross brace in the back end before we tighten everything up. So all right, so we've got both left and right sides. The back end cross brace goes on. It is using a 10 millimeter nut and bolt, and these are they've got the thread lock nuts, so you don't have to install anything except the nut on this. So I'm going to go ahead and loosely install this, tighten everything up, and I'm just about ready for luggage. All right, let's talk about the Tusk Pannier mounts. Did they go on easy? They really did. There's nothing to it. Just a handful of tools and just a simple, really very good instructions. It'd take you a half an hour tops to clean up. Why did I choose Tusk? Well, I knew what kind of luggage I was going to get. Now, the first luggage I bought for my BMW cost me an arm. The second set of cost me an arm and a leg. And it was more than what I paid for my very first car, and that was a '65 Mustang. So if you want to get any idea, the BMW gear was really expensive. I also wanted soft luggage. So I wanted Nelson Rigg's Trails and gear. So I called up Kyle and said, hey Kyle, what kind of pannier should I put on the Transalp? He said, we don't recommend one or the other, but he gave me a couple of different ones that perfect fit with their gear. I chose Tusk because I wanted that quick release. And so I'm looking forward to the Nelson Rigg gear getting here, the Trails and gear. I have Hurricane bags, which I love. But I'm gonna put the Trails and gear on this bike because it has a lot more storage capacity and a couple other things that are really kind of cool about it. Can't wait to share that with you. We have a link to the Tusk. It's really easy to get from Amazon. I got them in 3 days. Cost me a couple of Benjamins, nothing to it. When you think about it, you want something that's gonna do a good fit, easy to install, you could do it yourself, you can live in a remote or rural area and have it to you in just a couple of days. The Tusk is the one I chose. I think you'll be happy with them if you choose them too. I want to thank you for joining me today. Be sure and like and subscribe. We are loving making these videos now that the bike barn is done. I love being in my environment and I can't wait to get back out on the road again with Carolyn. And on that note, Carolyn, thank you for filming this stuff and doing all that editing work. It is really a lot of work to do this stuff, and we don't do it because we make a dime. We do it because we really love our community. Our motorcycle community has been very good to us for 45 years, and so we want to give back where we can. And on that note, travel safe, and we'll see you out on the road.